like to start out first off by letting everybody know that this week in college football is Coach's Cure to MD weekend. All college coaches around the country will be wearing the Coach to Cure MD patch on our shirts, and we're honoring a local family, Garrett Sapp and his family. He'll be an honorary captain through this game for us this weekend. And you can see I put it out there for you guys if you want to make a donation, to our fans out there. If you want to donate to this cause, it would be very much appreciated by a lot of people. So that information's there. You can get it by texting the word CURE, and then I think it's 50555, and you can make a donation that way. And then also Colton Sheets, who we've had as an honorary captain before. He is a young man, young boy that's battled cancer at a young age, and he's now 3 years in remission. And he's come around the program a bunch the last couple years, so he'll also be an honorary captain for us in this game against FAU this weekend. So two good things going on before the game gets started that I think will have a big impact on these two young kids' lives. Again, got FAU this weekend. They're a really good team, defending conference champ. Very talented, very athletic. It's a very fast team. They got a lot of experience coming back on both sides of the ball. Offensively for them, it starts with their running back. We've got to do a great job of slowing him down. He's a really, really dynamic running back. He's very special. He runs hard. He runs physical. He's fast. I think he had 130 yards and 3 touchdowns against us last year. Might have had 4 touchdowns, but he's a really good back. They've got good skilled people around him at quarterback. They got a transfer in from Oklahoma. And then their receivers, they can all run and stretch the field. So they've got really good skill on offense. They're going to go fast. They're going to run a sideline to sideline. We got to be ready for trick plays, special plays, all that. We got to get lined up, get our calls, get lined up, and be ready to go because this is a really talented offense that we're facing. Defense, they got a lot of guys back. I think they got 10 starters back, 9 starters back from last year's team. And again, their secondary is very talented. Their corners are good. They got all conference linebackers that they had last year are back. They got some new guys, a couple new guys up front, transfer guys in there. But it's a really fast defense. It's a very physical defense that runs and chases the ball. So that's a little bit about their defense, their kicking game. You guys watched the UCF game Friday night. If you did, their second team running back returning kicks was really dynamic. He's really good at that. So we've got to have a great week of preparation in our kicking game, and I know we will. So looking forward to this game, and this is where it starts now for us, conference play. It's a great opportunity for us. We're looking forward to getting started. We had a good practice yesterday. We're off today, and be ready to go tomorrow.
Coach, how did the bye week help you guys?
Well, the first 3 games, took a little bit of toll on us from a physical standpoint. But I think being this early, a little bit earlier than normal, again, you come off playing the number 2 team in the country, that's hard to do. And, so we practiced last Tuesday and Wednesday, and they were off Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We went out as coaches and recruited, and then we started yesterday. So we came back with a great mindset, fresh, mentally, and ready to go. So I think it was good.
You kind of mentioned their defense there. Florida Atlantic's given up quite a bit of points this year, but they played against UCF in Oklahoma. Or is that a little bit misleading? Is their defense a little better than the points that they've given up this year?
I think it is because, the first game of the year, Oklahoma, scored a bunch of points on them, and they've scored a bunch of points on everybody except Army last week, and they just didn't have the ball. Army possessed the ball the whole time, and then UCF is explosive. It was a 21-17 game at halftime, and then UCF got a couple there in the second half. But this is a really good defense, and then they played Bethune-Cookman, and Bethune scored some points. That game is, y'all need to answer that. I'll let that stop ringing, but the game was Bethune scored a couple touchdowns there in the fourth quarter to probably make it look like it was a little bit closer than what it was. So, no, I think this is a really talented defense, and you look at it from last year's standpoint, they didn't give up a bunch of points in conference play last year, and they got basically the same guys back. I can hear you.
What kind of what do you kind of do to kind of adjust to FAU's tempo? I know last year you guys kind of struggled with it because they were able to get so many plays off, and you guys probably weren't able to get it lined up. But what kind of you guys try to do? I mean, I know on offense you guys try to go tempo as well, but is it kind of the same thing that Kiffin does with his offense, the kind of tempo-wise that you guys do?
Well, one, I thought we got lined up last year against them after the first two series. Last year the headsets didn't work. And with Coach Schaefer being in the box, we just had a hard time. The headsets went out. We had a hard time communicating our defensive calls, getting at call him by the time he got down out of the box and got on the field. So we struggled a little bit early last year because of that. But no, they are fast. Their tempo is faster than ours. They do a really good job of their skill. Does a really good job of once the play is over, they get up and sprint the ball to the official, and get it lined up and get it spotted as quick as they can. So we just got to do a good job. Our defense has practiced really well. The two practices last week and then yesterday in preparation for that. Our scouts have got to do a good job. We try to go a little bit against each other offensively and defensively to simulate that pace. But it's hard to do in practice. But you just got to, you understand that you can't do you make a play, you can't do any celebrating. You got to make the play, get up and get lined up, get your eyes on the sideline, get your call, and be ready to go. But I don't have any doubt our defense will do a great job of adjusting to their tempo, and we've got to have success on first down defensively. We talk about that a lot: first down offense, first down defense. If we can have success on first down defensively, that always has a tendency to slow down an offense a little bit also.
Coach, Chris Robeson, their quarterback, obviously this is only going to be his fifth start that he's ever made. What have you seen from him in his first four that makes him successful?
He's got good players around him. He's got really, really good receivers, and he got that back behind him. That always helps a quarterback. So, but no, he's, he looks like he's probably a little bit more athletic, a little bit better runner than what they had last year, so he can move around. He can, extend plays. He throws the ball good. He's got a good arm. Seems to be a good decision maker. He threw a couple there against UCF Friday night, but prior to that, he'd done a really good job of, from a decision-making standpoint, it looked like, and you never know watching film. But he's an excellent football player. You don't sign at Oklahoma, if you're not any good.
You touched a little bit on running back Devin Singletary. Where does he kind of rank in terms of the running backs you've kind of seen in Conference USA the past few years?
Well, he's been the best last year. He was the best. He was either Conference Player of the Year or Offensive Player of the Year. He's the best right now, and he's leading the nation in scoring. He's leading the nation in touchdowns. He was third all-time in the history of college football for the most touchdowns in a season last year. I think he had 33, behind Barry Sanders and somebody else. So you don't score that many touchdowns if you're not very good. And so he's, the last 2 years or last year and a half, he's been the best running back in this conference.
Coach, what do you tell your team after 3 games heading into conference play?
I told them, last week when we got back, that in the big scheme of things, the grand scheme of things, these first 3 games, really didn't mean anything. They don't count other than towards bowl eligibility. This is when it starts, conference play. This is, the goals that you have out there that now, this is where it starts, and conference play, and this is the first one for both of us. A couple other teams have already played a couple conference games, so this is where it starts. So it would be nice to get off to a good start, and as we start conference play. But to me, this is, you don't want to say preseason like the NFL does, but these are the ones that carry a bunch of weight.
What has Coach Kiffin kind of done to kind of bring kind of more of a national spotlight at Conference USA, and what do you think of Old Dominion's win over Virginia Tech as well?
I don't know. I don't know what Coach Kiffin's. He's done a great job at FAU. So a lot of respect for him as a football coach. He's done a good job. They've got a good football team last year, and they got a good football team this year. And congratulations to Old Dominion. It was a great win for them. Appreciate you guys